I'm like, God, if you don't bless it, then I'm gonna die. You know, like I'm gonna die trying. I don't care. Like either you're gonna bless it or I'm gonna die trying. Like there's nothing else. So that's like wrestling. I feel like I'm wrestling with God where I just won't let you, I'm not gonna let him go. Hey everyone, today is Thursday, May 29th, I think it is. Anyway, making my vlog. I'm here at the City Fam offices having a cup of Kratom. I have a cup about this time, at least a few times a week, because it kind of relaxes me a little bit after a long day's work. If anyone doesn't know what Kratom is, it's actually a tea from Asia, and it just, you know, kind of relaxes you and gives you a little euphoric benefit. If anyone is out there or knows anyone out there, anyone that's addicted to opioids, apparently people that are addicted to opioids use Kratom to get off of them. I was talking to a guy not too long ago that he got sober. He got off heroin with Kratom because you know, the withdrawal is pretty severe when you're on drugs, when you're on heroin specifically, and people typically use drugs like methadone or Suboxone, and those actually you become addicted to those things as well. So with Kratom, there's no addictive benefit, no habit is formed, and people have used it to get off. So check it out. Kratom is how you spell it. For me, I just use it for relaxation and stress. So wanted to make my vlog and just kind of talk about everything that's happening. Lots of stuff to talk about today. But before I did, I was watching a video the other day, and I was watching Gary Vaynerchuk. I watch a lot of his stuff, actually. I really like him. I learn a lot from him, but also I like his personality. I like his authenticity. I like that he really wants to help people. What's up, Von Eric Hunter? How are you? Long time no see, brother. I miss you, man. We need to link up. Anyway, I was watching Gary Vee the other day, and he was talking about, you know, it was really because of him that I started documenting this journey that I'm on, because he was so big on vlogging. If you're good, you know, if he basically says if you're good on camera, vlog. If you're a writer, write. But you know, you got to document the journey, because you got to tell people what you're about, what you're up to, so they can know about you. So that they can hopefully buy into what you're doing, you know. So I wanted people to know about City Fam, so which is why I started vlogging. And one of the things that he said the other day was he talked about how he wishes he could go back and that he wishes he had vlogged when he was, you know, coming up, because he vlogs a lot now. Nobody puts out more content than Gary. But he didn't record when he was in the grind, you know, when he was nobody. And he's like, you know, people will come to him and say, "Oh man, you're so lucky." And he's like, you can take that luck shit and keep it in your pocket, because he's like, I worked to get here. You know, he worked his face off, and he still works his face off. And what he said is, you know, he's like, that's the story that never gets told. He said, because nobody really does it while they're coming up. Everybody, you know, Will Smith that vlogs now, and Will Smith is a billionaire. The Rock makes a ton of content, but The Rock is sitting on top of the world. Very rarely do you see somebody that's in the hunt and doing it, you know, with a real consistency. Probably because they don't have a lot of resources, because it takes time to vlog or to just make any content, really. And if you're working full time, you're trying to pay the bills, or build a nonprofit, or promote a book, or whatever it is, right? Like you don't have necessarily a lot of resources to vlog, because it's not, or to produce content, because it's not necessarily really making you anything, right? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take a lesson from that, and I'm trying to create content right now, because I am in the hunt. I am in the grind. I'm not, you know, I haven't reached the mountaintop yet, and I'm making a ton of content and believing that, you know, if I keep going and I don't quit and I keep delaying gratification and grinding, that sooner or later this thing is going to pop and it's going to break, and then I'm going to be crossing over into my promised land, into this great place where I want to be, that I talk about so much. Because honestly, I believe that if I can delay gratification long enough, that it has to, you know, because when I read the word, and I talk a lot about the Bible, it says, let us not become weary in well-doing, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we don't give up. That's the verse. So it basically says, don't get tired, don't get tired of doing the right thing, that you will reap a harvest, you'll get a payoff if you don't give up. So that's a big if, because honestly, sometimes it's just so hard where you want to quit. But I believe that verse is true, and I believe that I'm gonna prove it to be true. I actually was thinking about another verse I wasn't even gonna talk about today, but talked about Jacob wrestling with God in the Bible, and he said he basically wouldn't let God go and unless he blessed him, to the point where God finally touched his hip and knocked it out of socket in order to get him to let go. But I feel like, that's the way you have to be with a dream. It's like, because you have to get a hold of it. And I'm like at the point with City Fam and this whole vision in my mind, this world that I'm trying to create, that I'm like, God, if you don't bless it, then I'm gonna die. Like, I'm gonna die trying. I don't care. Like, either you're gonna bless it or I'm gonna die trying. Like, there's nothing else. So that's like wrestling. I feel like I'm wrestling with God, where I just won't let you. I'm not going to let him go, right? And that's just where I'm at. And I'm documenting this journey because I want people to see. I don't want them to just hear what I say. I want them to see what I do. That's why I post the picture of my Bible app every morning, or the Bible, the passage that I'm reading every morning, all the gym pictures, or that's why I'll post a vlog of myself leaving, or a video of myself, a story, leaving the office at 10 o'clock at night, because I'm like, look, I'm getting up early, I'm working late. Here's a picture of my bank, my bank statement, my balance. Like, I'm showing everything, like, because I believe that people out there are, there might be people that are watching that are saying, hey, I'm gonna go after my dream, I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna walk this narrow path, and we're all gonna go through the same thing. You know what I mean? So I don't want people just to listen to what I say. I want them to watch what I'm doing, because when I make it, which I do believe that, sooner or later, God's gonna bless it, I don't want anybody to have any questions of how I got it done, because I worked my ass off and I sacrificed to the point, down to the bone, and that's why I'm making as much content as I am. And the thing is like, honestly, like, the people that we have gotten interested in City Fam and these other cities that have reached out, all came from content. Every single one of them. They all came from either YouTube or Instagram, or they found a piece of my content and they resonated with it and they reached out. So that really is part of my focus right now, is producing more content. I actually just wrote a script, the script for a video that I made the other day called 12 Ways to Stop Depression Naturally. And then I wrote another one for dating advice, should a woman pursue a man? So it takes time to do those things, to make the content, to write it out, to film it, then to chop it up and put it out in the right places. But I'm believing that if I continue to do it, that we're going to attract more people, and eventually we're going to attract more resources to go along with it. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say about that. So I named this video Marshmallows and Happiness because there's a passage in my book that I talk about delayed gratification. So there was a test that they did, and I think it was in the 70s. It's been a while since I wrote about it, but they did this test with children in the 70s, where they put them in a room by them with I don't know if they were with other kids or by themselves, but they put them in there and they put a marshmallow, this little marshmallow, in front of them, and they said, hey, we have to leave right now. We'll be back in a little while, but if you don't eat that marshmallow, then when we come back, you can have 2 marshmallows. And then they would leave the room, and most of the kids ate the marshmallow, right? But what they found was some of them didn't eat the marshmallows. Some of them waited for the person to come back, and then they gave them 2 marshmallows. But what they found was the kids that waited and delayed gratification, later in life, they actually followed these kids for their whole adult life, and they found that those kids were more successful, throughout their schooling. They made more money. They were healthier. They took care of themselves better. They had all these benefits. All these kids that took the 2 marshmallows, that waited and delayed gratification, and it really taught them a valuable lesson about delayed gratification versus instant gratification. And I say that to say, because what I'm doing right now is I'm delaying gratification. Most of my life I did not. I was the king of instant gratification. I used to say, if it feels good, do it. Pay the consequences later. I used to actually say that out loud. And I always did. Every single time I had to pay the consequences. But now I'm embracing delayed gratification because I learned that that is actually the key to all long-term happiness. So it's hard. It sucks. You know, I went to the gym this morning at 5:45 and I was gasping for air, but I do that because I'm delaying gratification. A lot of people that actually understand delayed gratification, like especially in the gym scene, they don't understand delayed gratification in other parts of their life. You know, like especially in like the certain like fitness worlds, you know, it's all about, you know, sex and hooking up and whatever, you know, but that principle applies everywhere, you know, and if you delay gratification long enough in any area, I believe that there will be a payoff, that you will reap a harvest if you don't give up, right? It's just how long can you delay gratification, right? Because this shit is not easy. Like I've been in the grind for about 7 years, really, and really more like 13 or 14 of the last 19, you know, because the first 6 years I delayed a lot and then I just fell off because I just ran out of gas and just spiraled out and, you know, went crazy for about 5 years. And then I've been back on this delayed gratification kick for about 7 years. And it's hard, you know, I see why people give up because you start to doubt, like, is it really going to happen? Is it really going to break? Is there going to be a payoff, you know, or is God faithful? Or, you know, does this principle work? If you're not a believer, you're just like, you know, it gets lonely and it gets at times depressing. But I'm actually really starting to see a lot of the benefits. A lot of the benefits are starting. Like I could see things popping up and clarity like I've never had before. And I want to share some of the things that that really are happening. So basically what's going on right now is obviously we have these new chapters starting. We have Houston that's officially kicked off. We have Phoenix that's meeting, that's actually doing a Truth About Sex group, and they had 20 some people last time they met. There's a group in Dallas that's actually already had their first social event, and we've received inquiries from other people all around the world. So we have all these groups now starting. We have our first official partnership with a church down in Houston called Regeneration, and they are actually attending our service events, which is awesome because you know, we really believe that we need to partner with other healthy communities in order to accomplish our purpose. So it's exciting. We're going to be working systems and processes around that partnership so that we can really, you know, make it, whatever pain points arise, we're going to figure them out and we're going to perfect systems around it. So that's exciting. The book is, I actually just hired someone overseas to help me with marketing. You know, I have a tiny budget to help with that, which I'm excited about because as the book sells, what I'm realizing is those people are the most likely to start CityFam chapters. So I really have to get the book sales up in order for us to start more CityFam chapters, which would lead to me then travel into more cities like I just did recently, and then meeting with the leaders, meeting with any media in the area, meeting with any pastors, any churches, and then just creating as much buzz as possible, filming everything, and then turning that into content that then gets posted onto social media, which turns into more opportunities for me to sell more books and go more places. So like, we're getting really clear on how to do this, more clear than we've ever been before. So in a lot of ways, we're in the best place that we've ever been, but it also comes with their share of challenges because we're investing all this time and these resources in these other chapters, and we're not really getting anything back from them. They haven't really, you know, paid anything into us outside of a donation we did. We got actually 2 donations from Houston, so check that. We got two donations from Houston, but we've spent a lot of time on these other chapters, and we haven't gotten a whole lot in return. So we're just burning. We're burning, you know, and we don't have a lot to burn. So really, trying to spend. I actually spent some time today focusing on soliciting, like hitting up some people that have donated to us in the past and asking them to help us, you know, partner with us in the season that we're in, because I can, you know, now more than ever, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see, you know, we're getting closer, but we have to get there. So we still need some help. So if anyone is out there watching this and you believe in what we are doing, what CityFam and me, you know, what I'm doing, and you would like to support us, I would love for you to go to cityfam.com. There's a get involved button, and I would love for you to go to the donate button and make a either one-time contribution or you know, give us something, you know, an ongoing contribution, like an ongoing monthly contribution, maybe something smaller. But you know, we're in the process of fixing a big problem, I believe, and doing something really special, but we have to get there. And you know, thank you to everyone that's given to us in the past. We've had a lot of help, you know, to make it to this point, but we need a little bit more. And yeah, so if you're watching this and you believe in what we're doing, I would really love for you to make a donation. 100% of the money is tax deductible. None of it comes to me. I don't get paid through the organization. I'm a volunteer, and we work with the leanest of budgets possible. You can see our financials on our website if you'd like to know how much we bring in and where the money goes. It's all there for everyone to see. So I would love that. But I am, as I'm making this content that I was talking about, I'm looking for suggestions. I have about 40 subjects that I fleshed out the other day of things that I want to talk about, that I want to make YouTube videos about, which I'll also chop up and put on Instagram and Facebook. And a lot of it has to do with dating, but a lot of it doesn't just have to do with dating. Like I said, the last video I made was how to 12 ways to overcome depression, because I went through it, you know, as I was making these changes in my life. I mean, there were times where I was just like, I wanted to get hit by a bus. I just literally was like, I was in that much pain, but I developed strategies to manage it. And I want to share those with people, because I feel like as you know, people step out, maybe anyone that would be watching my videos, if they decide to get sober or become abstinent or leave that life to pursue this other life, they're going to want to know how to get through it, you know, how to go through the wilderness. And I went through it, and I can help. So I'm excited about, you know, diversifying my content a bit. So if there's anything out there that you want to see me make a video on, leave a comment, or you can send me a direct message and let me know what ideas you have. I'm looking for any suggestions. We're also going to be making a video for CityFam called, it'll be called What If? And what we're basically going to attempt to do is explain CityFam through a bunch of what if statements. So for example, we would say, like, what if people spent as much time volunteering in their community as they do complaining on social media? Or whatever, you know what I mean? So we want a bunch of what if statements, and we're gonna, you know, have clips of different scenes as people are hearing those. So we believe that that's gonna be, you know, that's going to be good, and hopefully it'll get shared a bunch. If you're watching this and you see it come on your news feed, please share it. But if you have any ideas for what if statements that would explain what CityFam is, like what if people actually started loving their neighbor as they love themselves, or whatever it is, leave a comment, send me a direct message. We're looking for what if statements to make this video. So what else is coming up? Renegade is next Friday at Riverwatch. It's always one of our biggest Renegades of the summer. We'll be there on Friday, June 6th, 7th. I don't know what date it is, whatever the first Friday is in June. And then the following day, we're going to be volunteering with the Special Olympics of Maryland, helping out with their track and field event. So I want to shout out to Fidelity First. Thank you, Dan Eubanks and Fidelity First, for sponsoring the event. We really appreciate the support. If you're out there and you own a business and would like to sponsor a service event that CityFam does, please reach out to me, and I will give you more information about that. We can also have your employees come out and volunteer with us, and of course we'll give you lots of online promotion, lots of online love. So lastly, I am thinking about booking a concert with an old school artist in the fall of this year, and I'm looking for suggestions on what artists that you guys would like to see. Who would you come out and support? Got a bunch of suggestions from people yesterday, everyone from Keith Sweat to Ja Rule to DMX to Color Me Bad, Casey and JoJo. So got a lot of suggestions. If there's someone out there that you would like to see a concert with an old school artist, they can't be too popular, because the venue's small, so it means our budget is somewhat small. But if there's someone that's you know, not super famous anymore, let's say, you know, that you'd like to see, let us know. That's it for this week. Talk to you guys later. See you.